what you're gonna need is a cube. This one I got from Michael's. It's 3.5 by 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches, and it's around $5. So you're gonna need as many blocks as you want to make. Some Mod Podge, some foam brushes, a pen, and some scissors. Some decorative paper that you want to work with. This is just ripped out of an old atlas that I bought from the thrift store. It was probably like 100-page atlas for like $1.50. Any text that you want to put on your block. My blocks are going to be travel themed, so this one that we're making is going to be about Canada. Go Canada! And of course the pictures that you want to use for your block. So now that we have everything, let's get started. So grab your block and grab your pen and put it on top of your decorative paper, and you want to just trace around the block to get a square on your paper. You're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut that square out that you just traced, so it's exactly the size of your block, which is 3.5 by 3.5 inches. Okay, once you have your square cut out of your decorative paper, just place that aside, and you're going to do the same thing with your pictures. Just put that block over your picture, trace it, and then cut it out just like you did with your decorative paper. Okay, now we have all our squares cut out. Choose your favorite. This one is my favorite of my parents. I think it's Lake Banff or something, or Lake something, I don't know, in Canada. But anyways, and then you, if you're gonna put text on your block, go ahead and get that and cut it out. Just make sure, obviously, that it'll fit onto the 3.5 inch block when you're done cutting it. So I just finished gluing my text onto my decorative paper, and now comes the fun part. We're gonna decoupage. Put a thin layer onto this top part of the block. So it's very important that you put a thin layer. You don't want it too thick or your paper is really gonna get wrinkled. And then we're gonna take our pictures and we're gonna put them all the way around the cube. All our sides done. We have our title or our text right here. We have all the pictures on all the sides and even on the bottom, as you can see. And now this is the very important part. You need to wait until it's dry. So give it about 10 minutes. It's time for some more Mod Podging. Make sure, again, this is very important, that you put a very thin layer on. So let's start with the top, thin layer. Go in the direction that you want the strokes to look like, because when it dries, you will see those strokes. And for those of you who put this decorative paper on the top, you're going to see that it's going to kind of start to wrinkle, but I promise you, as it dries, it's going to straighten out and it won't be so wrinkly. But that's only if you put a very thin layer. So it's important that you put a thin layer. I can't stress that enough. So we're going to turn our cube and start to put our thin layer onto every single photo. I want the strokes to go up and down, so I'm going to make sure I go up and down and complete my strokes from top to bottom or bottom to top. I'm going to turn the cube and do every single side. And we've only done one coat, so we'll do one more coat. So we'll have 2 coats all together. Again, make sure you put a very thin layer and make sure all your sides are dry before you do this second layer. Okay, so let's get started on that. So that's it for our tutorial for these cubes. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you enjoyed making this for somebody. I'll talk to you later. Bye! I'd like to thank my audience of one. Say hi to the camera. Hi, Sophia.